Okay. Monster.
Attention, please.
Yo. 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 Yo.
Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Thursday, January 25th, 2024. I'm Astrology David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, thanks for being a part of highvibe.tv. If you are not, make sure that you become a member now. You can go to highvibe.tv or go to any of the app platforms and type in highvibe TV. You'll see us there. Definitely become a member. Get all the daily horoscopes, all the weekly horoscopes, deep astrology, all the awesome shows. It's all happening here on highvibe.tv. Truly appreciate you and your membership. Well, we're here for the full moon in Leo, and who better to give it to you than the fucking Leo King, motherfuckers. So I'm stoked to be here for you all. This is definitely a full moon in Leo we've all been waiting for to kick off, really, at least to be able to feel Pluto in Aquarius. We haven't been able to really feel it yet, so I'm going to be talking about that. And of course, at the same token, there is a lot happening with this full moon. This is going to feel like the longest full moon ever, and that's not a bad thing. So let's go deep into it. So this full moon, of course, happening with the sun at 5 degrees Aquarius. We now have just seen that Sun-Pluto conjunct at 29 degrees of Capricorn in 59 minutes, and even into like the 40 seconds. Like we were literally seconds away from it being at 0 Aquarius, but it wasn't. So when people keep telling you again, oh, we had Sun-Pluto conjunct in Aquarius at 0 degree. No, we didn't. It was Capricorn, and the sun ingressed into Aquarius, and then 11 hours later, then Pluto ingressed into Aquarius. Sure, they were both at 0 degrees, but the sun was already had its ass looking at Pluto. So we, number one, haven't felt Pluto in Aquarius yet, but this is going to be our first time really feeling it. Sure, it came in last year. If you remember back, we were finishing March of 2023, and then we just saw it for some months, and then it went retrograde and it left. So one, last year, when the sun was in Aquarius, we didn't have Pluto in Aquarius. Saturn was still in Aquarius. Two, the full moon in Leo did not even get to feel or even get close to ever opposing or even look at Pluto in Aquarius. So this is going to be the full moon that's happening at 5 degrees of Leo that truly is like, yo, we are looking and feeling this Pluto in Aquarius. And the reason why at the same token too is not only there's those reasons, but this is finally a moment here to where there is so much that is getting kicked off. Uranus is stationing direct within a day and a half of this full moon. So Uranus is the only planet that is retrograde. And since I've been telling people on High Vibe since June of 2023, when Venus started to, ingress into Leo and started to slow down, we have been in retrograde city. So it has felt like not much has advanced much in our life. It might feel like it has, but that was stuff that had come prior during the direct motion of the planets at the beginnings of 2023. So we've been in a stalemate for a long time in our lives. Now, it's Uranus that deposits all this energy in Aquarius. Uranus rules Aquarius. So Uranus being completely stopped and starting to station, right? Being the only planet that's literally retrograde, and it is doing nothing. It's only doing 5 seconds a day during this full moon in Leo. But during this full moon in Leo, we will see Uranus station direct. We are also seeing Mars in Capricorn starting to square Chiron, and Mercury also getting ready to conjunct Mars. So there's definitely some anxious momentum here that we want to get on top of things, that we want to make things happen. And with Saturn and Neptune that have been in Pisces, geez, it's already felt like a sloppy mess that we've all been living in. And I think it's important to remember that this full moon in Leo is saying, number one, you've got to find that life force again in yourself. We have drifted so far into the Capricorn Aquarius lands of Saturn and Uranus's realm and been bouncing back and forth between the dispositors, right? We've been bouncing into Saturn world, back into Uranus world, back into Saturn world. And Leo here is it's the sun. It's about life force. And so the best part about this is we live in a world that feels so, where is that future going? Where is all things going? Well, that's determined on your outlook, especially about your values and where your heart speaks to you. This is a full moon that's about the heart. It's a full moon in Leo, but with the opposition to Pluto now, our first one we've ever felt. You've never felt this in your life before. In Aquarius, while the sun is in Aquarius, and the big T-square to Jupiter that's happening in Taurus. That, of course, remember, I mean, it's not exact, of course, but Jupiter did station at 5 degrees and went direct just within on New Year's Eve, right? What's even crazier is the lunar eclipse that was in October was at 5 degrees of Taurus. So this is exactly looking at so much that's been seeded for such a long time in your life about the good and amazing things that you could be manifesting in your life. It's not what is my future. It is, this is going to be my future. I am going to inspire and lead with my love and my values that I have to expand. We all have to expand. We all have to upgrade. That's what Aquarius is reminding us of with Pluto, and evolve and take our values to way higher places. Remember, Jupiter's with Uranus. This is going to be a conjunction coming down here in just the next couple months. With Chiron in the North Node starting to conjunct, though, in Aries, it does make it a little bit weird because people could feel, I don't know what action to take, or I don't know what to identify, or am I going in the right direction? Is this the right place? Of course, you're going to have to realize with this North Node in Aries, Mars is the dispositor of that, and Mars is squaring it. Mars is exalted here in Capricorn with Mercury. Get out of your head of what to do and be more specific of, this is what I'm going to do. And you know what? Start thinking like rolling the dice. If it doesn't work out in life, what's the worst thing that could happen? We have to start being way more livable as a human species and living again. We need to start rolling the dice, and you know what? Putting our best effort forward and our heart forward, and stop being scared of what will happen in the future to me. What will happen? What will happen if this doesn't do? That's what Pluto in Capricorn has been so restrictive for this whole collective for the last 16 years. Just look at the last 4 with all this Capricorn energy we've had. People want everything to be perfect, or when I have the perfect job, and the moment when that happens, or I'll do this, I'll have a kid when that happens, and I'll get married when that happens, and I'll do this when I get that. That is the most pathetic life you could live. This is about courage and being bold, and I'll be honest, I love that we are at a big T-square to Jupiter here, because it's about writing the story and the adventure, and it better be a fucking amazing, crazy-ass roller coaster with Uranus. And that's what we're going to see in all of our lives. The story that just goes into a whole new stratosphere. If you are willing to have the courage to go through it. If you are willing to not be afraid anymore about who cares what people think. Who cares what the world thinks. Start to follow that inner guidance. And what I love about this full moon is, it's covering Leo. We're getting a lot of coverage in the square that's happening over T-squaring to Jupiter, but also Uranus that's about to station direct just a day and a half after this full moon. It's more like almost 2 days, but it's still in that day and a half range. We're getting the Aquarius with Sun Pluto. We're not getting that Scorpio. We need to revive this planet with fucking passion, with fucking a heart. I mean, it kind of reminds me of fucking like, we live in a humanoid world. People are fucking humanoids. Wake the fuck up and start to fucking live with love. Get out of the cold, get out of the numbing, get out of the detachment, and start to dig to understand where that roar and where that, think of it like fucking the most amazing fucking Indiana Jones adventure of your life. If you're not willing to take the risk, go for it in your life, what are you even here for? To be a drone that waits for what the fucking phone says on the news? Or what? Well, if my parents think that, or if this person thinks that, the problem with Pluto and Aquarius, as especially a fucking Leo, and that Pluto is opposing my sun exact, I can tell you, the hard part about Aquarius and what's even harder about Pluto and Aquarius that people haven't realized yet is the obsession that people are going to want validation from others. Stop. I found out today doing the show with Rich Lopp that we do here on High Vibe and on YouTube about the Stanley Cup thing. I don't even know what the fuck that shit is. The fact that people are going crazy over a fucking, what is that, a coffee cup? And other people want it because other people are getting it? And that's what is starting to define people, to find happiness and to be cool? I'm sorry, but what I do love about Pluto is it's no bullshit. And it's laughing. If you bought one of those, if you have fallen for that shit, you have already lost the beginnings of Pluto and Aquarius. The most retarded, stupid thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And people, you know why? Because people want validation because other people are doing it. Who in this world now has the courage to live the life that you are unique? You are different. You are somebody that has to learn to express yourself. It is not about, well, I can express myself because this over here, and you know what? These people have values that I feel like, so maybe I can find my value in there. No, you are not going to find shit following anybody or anything that looks cool or hip or trendy. You have to start to follow and find the real, deep, unique humanity within yourself and how to express that and take that and create it and manifest it in this reality. That's what this full moon is saying. There is no more playing by the Capricorn rules of, well, wait till I do this, and once I go to school, and once I have the right timing. How lame. Presentation is no longer the defining, deeper obsession of our lives. Who cares? What's defining now is about whether or not you are innovative enough to connect, to change, to disrupt, and to actually do something that somebody hasn't done before. And if you are still living in a world where the tentacles of the last 4 years asked you to wear a mask, asked you to take a shot, told you to do something, your job, your family, all these weird things, you really think those tentacles aren't going to come back in a different way? We need to have society drop out. You're afraid of what the WHO is going to be doing? Well, you're still working that job that actually is the problem. People go, you know what? I want to disrupt. You know what? We need to take, people have said crazy things like take down the government. You know what the government is? It's the people. The more you're at your job that the tentacle fucking showed up and went, well, you need to wear a mask. Well, you need to get a shot. Oh, you need to do this. You need to social distance. You need to start telling the customers that. You need to, if it reached, the tentacle reached you, that's where the CBDC, that's where the crazy reality is coming for you. You need to get out of that shit. You need to have the courage to go create something that you love. And this is the first fucking transit we have had in over 4 years that is fucking badass as fuck. What's the saddest part about it, though, is most people are lame. Most people are boring. Most people are in the fucking Capricorn still of like, when's the right timing? Well, I don't know. Let me go to Christmas dinner and tell everybody I'm going to school and being a good boy and a good girl. We are in a reality with so many people stuck, and you manifest being stuck. You cannot be afraid to go on an epic, not just adventure, but experience now. You have to experience your humanity and your heart. You have to experience your creativity. You physically have to. You can't do that through VR. You can't do that through your phone. You can't do that through your imagination. You have to physically do it now. You have to put everything like a roulette wheel and see what happens. What? Who cares if it doesn't work? The universe, with all this energy that we're going to be having to live with into the 2040s with Pluto and Aquarius, is going to be, well, at the end of the day, even if it didn't work, there was another crazy connection that got you to the right door. So anybody who has an excuse right now, like, well, I can't. I have to stay in my job because I have health insurance. You're retarded. Because you're missing everything. So there's, that's the hard part about Aquarius is innovation. There is what the Christians call it being left behind. But the funny part is with Saturn and Neptune and Pisces, which will not meet in Pisces, they're going to meet in Aries. There's a lot of people who are going to believe, oh my God, Christ is coming back and this and the spiritual, and all that's going to be the worst thing you're ever going to see. People are going to fucking fall into cults and wait for fucking something to happen and oh my God, it's happening and then I'm going to this place and and then fucking Saturn is going to meet fucking with Neptune and Aries and fucking it's going to be like, no, they won't even meet in Pisces. And so, I think the quincunx from the full moon here to Saturn in Pisces, which, we have to remember that when Pluto had made its ingress into Sag, but right before it did that was 95. But in 94, when the Sun and Pluto met at 28 degrees of Scorpio, and we were preparing for Pluto and Sag, Saturn was at the same degree. And that's where the irony is really, if you were to use the Antasia, which if you don't know Antasia at this point and you're following astrology and your astrologer hasn't taught you about Antasia, then you're not watching astrology. But the Antasia point of this Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius is 29 Scorpio. So this is really extreme zone, 0 Aquarius here for Pluto. And it does have weird 1994 effects where we're at with Saturn. And that's when the world started to, be more imaginative. The Eagles decided to come back together. Hell freezes over. That was a good expression that was used as an album and even live on MTV. But, it's not about the 90s anymore. What this is about is a completely new way to do things. Not about comeback tours, but about you going to a place with what you still haven't expressed yourself with fully yet, which for this world and 99% of the world hasn't even come close to even expressing themselves. I dare you on this full moon in Leo, and especially as Uranus is stationing direct on Friday evening Pacific time, Saturday morning anywhere else in the world, to go out into the street and scream your greatest passions and see what your neighbors say or what happens or what anybody says. I dare you. You probably don't have the guts. You probably don't have the innovation. You probably don't have the heart. You probably don't have the courage. You probably don't even have the willingness to go on the adventure to even see that. That's how you know how different this world's going to be. The ones of expression are going to win. Pluto is now in a positive, not a negative. It's in a positive. It's in a masculine sign. Not a feminine. And so this requires, especially in all these fixed energies, the best of the fucking best. When you mix Leo, Taurus, and Aquarius, it's the best or nothing. Period. So if your job sucks and it's not the best, what are you doing? If it's not making you happy, you're too afraid to express the life and to manifest the life that's amazing for you because the pressure's on Jupiter. Really, that's where the pressure's at. It's on Jupiter. And Jupiter's about to meet with Uranus, and Uranus is about to station direct. So these two, when they conjunct in Taurus, they're going to give great gifts, but only to those that know and are willing to go on the craziest ride of their life towards the best life possible and are not afraid to do it. People are too afraid to go and seek their own most amazing, most beautiful energy. People are afraid to find that they have the most amazing passion that they haven't even come close to fucking experiencing yet. And this is the full moon that's putting the pressure on Jupiter and on a spot that a lunar eclipse was just at less than 6 months ago. Geez, right? Like, we just saw that. And also, where Jupiter stationed direct and where Mercury and Capricorn made 3 trines to this Jupiter. Where Venus is ready to trine, as we're going to see coming into this weekend, and as we finished, we're going to see Venus trine Jupiter. We're going to see Venus sextile Saturn. It is the South Node dispositor. But Venus and Capricorn here is kind of like, do you really have excuses? Like, are you just continuing to be Humpty Dumpty and sit on a fucking wall? That's what South Node in Libra is. It's Humpty Dumpty. North Node in Aries is like, especially with Chiron, it's like, stop trying to have it look perfect. There's nothing that's going to be perfect. You know what perfect is? Going for the best, going for the heart, and seeing what the fuck happens. There is too many algorithmic who knows at the end of every situation in your life right now. Even in the job you think is so stable that you're too afraid to leave, that has a big question mark on it. So why wouldn't you go on the journey where there's still question marks, but the one that actually makes you happy? The one that actually you have the guts to actually live a better life? This is the best astrology chart I have seen, especially for what's coming over this next 4 to 5 days here with Mercury, Mars conjuncting, the trine to Uranus as Uranus is stationing direct, all planets direct. And before we really come into the most wildest shit ever, this is the universe definitely giving the biggest signal ever of like, you better fucking go and you better go now. You better do the best shit ever. You better build the kingdom of your happiness of your life. You better start being bougie for your spiritual good. You better start connecting to the future and knowing that there is no exact for sure. You better stop planning and just start fucking throwing pasta on the wall and seeing if it fucking sticks. If you have problems with all those things in your day-to-day life and how you live, this is going to be brutal because that old world that you want back is never coming back. The planned out world is gone. The planned out world's done. And especially with what is coming up in this year, just even alone, just in a month with the sun when it will finally, for the first time since the 90s, conjunct Saturn in Pisces with Mercury. This reality is going to be turning every weird direction you could even possibly fathom. So you might as well start going and living your best fucking life now. The only bad luck with Sun square Jupiter or a full moon in Leo square Jupiter is the Leo or the Aquarius that doesn't go for the best shit. Meaning, with your heart, if you're not aiming for the best, the highest quality, the most sensual, the best tasting, the most beautiful, that's a sad day where God is shedding tears and the angels are falling and losing their wings in heaven. Same thing in Aquarius. An Aquarius that doesn't raise up the bar to innovate or to connect with a higher caliber group of people, angels are losing their wings in heaven when that happens. But for the collective, it's the same thing. You know why you don't feel as much upstairs anymore? It's because the collective has failed. Not fully, but there's enough angels that have lost their wings there's enough tears from heaven, as Eric Clapton would say, of how lame and how irresponsible so many people are to fall into a system that has tentacles that God tried to show you for the last 4 years. And if it got into your world that was connected with the darkest, evilest shit of the last 4 years since the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, and you're still in it, you're a disgrace. You have zero heart, you have zero caliber, you have any even gauge to even understand what's going on. And that means that you don't understand your heart, you don't understand the future, you don't even understand your value. You don't even understand how amazing you are as a human being. You just want the tentacle to come back and take you away. Or maybe you just want to go to Canada and just go get one of those fucking medical treatments now that they're even pushing on kids to go fucking just off yourself. Maybe that's your wild adventure. But you can't Humpty Dumpty your life anymore. And I'll say this to anybody that's in the spiritual community, especially astrology. Stop waiting on some astrologer that maybe you admire, or some, especially where the old guard of astrology is dying right now. This is their end. 2024 is their last breath of air, and they're going to give us their wisdom that was left, but they're done. Okay? Stop waiting to be a superstar. Stop waiting to be the best. You should always be aiming for the best. You should always be aiming for, well, even if I'm not the best now, I'm the best in this moment. And you know what? Wherever the future goes, I don't know. But that's the best part of the ride. With Pluto and Aquarius, if you're afraid of the future, you're afraid of the skies, you're afraid of what could happen, the unpredictable, you're going to hate the next 20 years. Because right when you think this is going to happen, it doesn't. And right when you think it's not going to happen, it does. And as a Leo, I can say, especially, I'm purebred Leo with a Leo rising, fucking Mercury, Venus, Sun, and I have a moon in Taurus. I'm an exalted being, okay? And when I see this, the sun's at detriment with Pluto in Aquarius. This is that humanoid, which, if I don't know if you guys all saw the picture I used as the thumbnail. I put all these lions up on the Sphinx and the fucking pyramids and a humanoid digging in the dirt looking for fucking Pluto, trying to find himself. Instead of standing on the fucking top of the fucking Sphinx and roaring and just saying, fuck it. I'm going to piss up here. I'm going to smoke my vape. And I don't give a fuck. I'm going to have a great time. And this is the best fucking view I've ever fucking seen. But if you don't know how to live your life that way, I'm doing this from love. I'm going to just be, because I'm a Leo. I'm doing this from love. But you know, us Leos, we're hot. We're like the sun, so we burn. If you can't live that way, aren't you sad? How do you live with yourself every day? How do you actually miss out on the most incredible life that's been ever given to every single human being on this planet and completely ruin it? And completely just say, I don't give a fuck. You really went and bought a Stanley Cup, whatever the fuck that is? You really follow Taylor Swift? You really watch football on Sundays? There is a world that is, everybody's so worried about what is this group doing and what is going to happen next and what's going to happen with the wars and what, you know what? All that shit's going to probably happen. But that doesn't mean you still can't go fucking live the most amazing life ever, because if you are, you're not part of it. But most people are going to be lock and step and ready to be in the CBDC, to get called up into a war. You know why? Because you're sitting at your horrible life that you're too afraid to go scream on the street of badass motherfucker life. You're too afraid to get the high seat and piss on it and who gives a fuck? It's Aquarius. People are so afraid to be themselves fully. And this is the best astrology this week I've ever seen in 4 years. This is the week where God's saying straight up, Who are my badass motherfuckers who know they want the best, they have hearts of gold, they fucking want to connect, and they want to make this fucking new world, and they're not going to be part of any place where that evil tentacle I revealed over the last 4 years, they're not going to be part of that. And if you can answer, yeah, you know what? The tentacle never reached here. Nobody told me that I had to put on a mask. Nobody told me that I had to take a shot. Nobody in my job didn't ask me, and or they didn't ask customers to do that. Or if they did, that's part of evil. And everybody wants to know how we're going to stop the evil. You don't be part of it. You know what? You know what the rebellion of Aquarius is? The same thing that happened in the Revolutionary War was a Declaration of Independence. But that means that you leave your toxic counterpart, right? So your job is toxic if it asked any of that of you, or it required to do that to customers. It's part of the same system that's going to come back, that they're expecting you to stay in that job. You know why? Because they know you're too afraid to go find an epic journey of the best, most awesome shit ever. You know, it's not talked about enough. I know that we're in the same time, and you know that I'm the one who predicted the exact day the beginning of this World War III would happen and all this crazy shit. But nobody talks about, which I sometimes do, but Dr. Albert Hoffman, in the middle of all this crazy shit back in the fucking late 30s and into the early 40s, synthesized LSD, got on a bike ride, tried it, and changed his life and changed the life of many in the spiritual community and those that are seekers of finding true happiness in their, and to actually see their soul and deprogram it. That happened in the middle of World War II. He also lived to be over 100 years old. Now, if you're going to sit here and tell me that you're going to live your life and be the person that's just ready to be the next Modern Warfare 3 contestant in real life, or be the wife of a man that you know you don't love and that you know is a fucking NPC, and continue to work the job that probably won't be here because of AI, which you should be using to get out of the system because it'll fucking do over half the shit you don't even realize. The same people who told you, oh, coronavirus is so scary, are telling you AI is scary. Yeah, I really trust the news with that one. You have to really realize at this point that you're either in a migrant camp or you're fucking chasing that fucking train that's moving forward and getting on it and leaving the station now. The fate train has already left. This Uranus direct that follows this full moon, while the moon will be in Leo, and during this full moon in Leo, Uranus stations direct. Mercury, Mars come together multiple times. They square the nodes, they square Chiron, they trine Uranus. Just over the next 4 days. This is the steamroller fucking going. Mercury's out of shadow. Saturn's getting close to leaving shadow. This is full-blown fucking get a cigarette in your mouth, get in a fucking Shelby GT500 fucking Cobra and fucking light those fucking tires and fucking be a rebel with a cause to do good and live your fucking heart and happy fucking life. I'm so glad that the times of everybody and young people wearing sweaters and wanting to be grandparents at 20 years old is over. I am so happy that we are finally at a time where we're going to see who's a little bitch and who's really a fucking unique human being. Because at the end of the day, and I'll end with this, you're either a humanoid or you're a fucking human. Period. It has nothing to do with AI. It has everything to do with how you've already been taken over by your, oh, I need to look in the system this way and I need to do this. And you're too afraid to express yourself. That's my horoscope for you. There's a lot more in High Vibe, of course, but you know, like you YouTubers out there, which has all the most evil shit. They're showing evil commercials now to your children. They're telling you on YouTube now, and you're all going to be like pissed. Oh, be on YouTube. They are showing ads to children to kill themselves. It's on my X. We covered it today. I'm fucking... it's true. There's not going to be medicine. All the turbo cancers are happening. There won't be enough radiation. You know what they're going to do? They're going to offer you a new shot to terminally eliminate your life. Suicide. You really think your job will be there in a year? Especially in corporate bullshit? This is my wake-up call in the nicest way, and even though I know some people don't think this will be nice, this is nice, Leo King. This is a Leo with like with love and with confidence and with knowing that you deserve way fucking better for yourself. And we all as a collective deserve better for you to fucking show up and do something and to speak out and to express and be your own self. Stop trying to copy people. Stop looking at TikTok and being like, what are they doing? What is that person doing? What is that person doing? And trying to mimic it. Stop mimicking. Pluto and Aquarius is going to destroy anybody mimicking. Because then you become a droid at that point. You become a humanoid. Stop copying people. Just stop looking to, what is that person doing? That's going to be the deepest, darkest shadow of Pluto and Aquarius is, well, I couldn't find out who my uniqueness is, so I fucking watch TikTok videos, and you know what? That's what they do, so I guess I'll do that too. My buddy's going to fucking college. My girlfriend's going to this. Shut the fuck up. You really think a fucking high school diploma is going to get you anywhere anymore? No, it's just going to get you back to a fucking place with tentacles. So you can have a job where they're going to have the WHO come in and fucking, hey, yeah, well, this was a spot that somebody else was holding the position that was allowing this kind of shit to happen. You know, it's not about taking down governments or taking down, it's about us as people having the courage to go live our fucking wildest dreams. And I'm sorry, if your wildest dream is to go be a CEO at fucking some top fucking S&P fucking 500 company or be in the Magnificent Seven or do any of this bullshit, you've lost. It's about the wild dreamers, the wild fucking bougie ass souls, because what does that mean? I'm sorry, I didn't come to this reality to fucking live like a fucking peasant and do peasant work. Nor did I come here to try and be some sort of king that rules over peasants. I came here to inspire like a motherfucker. And I came here to be bougie with my soul, and I'm sorry, I didn't come here to accept this bullshit reality of people that fucking literally just want to be fucking androids and drones. And literally follow some sort of book that's flying in the sky of how to live my life, and I should be here at this time, and I should plan accordingly for a world that the deep secret now, which I think is pretty clear and been revealed, that nobody's behind the wheel. And they're having all the people in the collective manifest all these horrible, stuck, horrible situations. Who's going to fill the spots for these war? People you see on TV? No. Who's going to fill the spots for these crazy ideas that they're throwing around about disease X and all these crazy things? You. Because if you're in a position to where that can happen, you're the one aiding and abetting all that. You're the one who aided and abetted over the last 4 years of you even stayed in a position to hold on to your Capricorn greed like Scrooge. You're Scrooge. The world will not accept any Scrooges anymore. And you know what? It's not about the big wigs or any of that. It's all about the person who's too afraid to change and do something badass as fuck, but just wants to sit and be Mrs. Kravitz and do like every other Mrs. Kravitz around the block, in every state, in every country around the fucking world. The generations that brought us here, we have gratefulness for them, but they're the ones that push the narrative on TV now the most. And if I could give any advice, it's not about a fight. It's about drawing a fucking boundary now and being like, your values are out of line with love. Your boundaries now have to tell this old guard, it's time to step down. You guys are done. You're aiding now and abetting what you would never have done in the 60s. What you would never have done. Period. And we are at a place to where a lot of this old generation is going to lose their Social Security. A lot of people are going to lose all these benefits. So you have to start manifesting now. You need to start getting out of your bullshit shit that you think is secure now. There's not going to be that support. You need to start really thinking about your future without worrying so much of the positives of, well, if it doesn't work out, at least it'll work out in another way. And you could say that about if you want to stay and you want to be Mrs. Kravitz and stay in the same place and I'll be okay. That's different though. Your options will be CBDC or, oh, well, okay, whatever you ask. If you're not hip to be square with anything right now, especially stuff that's fucking... We live in a world right now where you can literally tell AI to not only build the website, give you the ideas, make the fucking business fucking proposal, make the fucking graphics, make the fucking whole thing, make a video for you, make a fucking AI voice, do the whole fucking thing for you, and you're still sitting there telling me in life, I don't want to lose my benefits. Do you really think Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus are going to do anything for you except maybe make you realize like, oh, I could have done that. Maybe now I can, now that they're pulling away the benefits and they're pulling away this. Don't let it be that. Have some fucking courage to express yourself. Have some courage to stick your tongue out and say, fuck you, motherfuckers. Ah! Have some courage to fucking live your life and stop being such a little fucking whiny ass, basic ass little soul bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, what a waste of life. Have some fucking fun. If you work at a job or you live in a life right now where you cannot fucking literally be like, fuck yeah, motherfuckers. I don't know what to tell you. And all this DEI shit, flip them off and say, fuck you. That's discrimination. You're not white enough. You're not black enough. You're not gay enough. You're not straight enough. You're not. That is the darkest part of the Pluto Aquarius story right now. And if that's already hitting you and people are trying to convince you of that, just know they're evil and just fucking disconnect. Because they want you to just be a fucking literal android at the end of this. They want you to be a transhuman. They already want you to take a trans infection shot. That's actually the literal thing of what that fucking bullshit shot was. Trans infection. The best way I could teach you as a Leo To fight the darkness is to go be the light and inspire the motherfucker others and make everybody fucking hate you because they wish they were you. And you know what? The best way to use the best medicine right now should be they hate us because they ain't us. They hate me because they ain't me. They hate me because they wish they were me. If you can't say that, it's time to wake the fuck up. Stop doing your stupid mantras of with the full moon and my crystals. Say fucking crystals. Look at me, motherfuckers, and realize, like, you wish you were fucking me. Did you diversify your crystals enough? did you put a DEI on your crystals? They're diversified. I have a quartz, and I have a this, and I have a that. That's how lame you are. You already fell for it. I bet you didn't diversify your sage. How dare you didn't do that? You just have white sage? Oh, you're a racist. That's the world we're coming into. And you can still live in your stupid fucking reality that's going to have to accept that. And you're like, I won't accept that. No, you are if you can't be in a position where people literally disagree with you because they hate you, because they wish they were you. That's the secret of this time. That's the secret of the future. I wish I was that motherfucker. I wish I was that chick. I wish I was that dude because I'm too afraid to be that in myself. I hope that helps. Stop trying to follow all these spiritual people. The crystals, I have this and I have that one and I have this one, I have this and diversified them. Oh my God. I got nothing against crystals. I love crystals, but sometimes I like one crystal and I just will buy a bunch of that one crystal. Who gives a fuck? And I'm just going to say it. Anybody in the spiritual community pushing this whole diversity bullshit is not about oneness, period. They are the darkest fucking souls on the planet. They are literally trying to transfect you into become a transhuman. They do not want you to literally form any form of one consciousness and understand oneness at all. They want you to be a racist and they want you to join their racist team. They just call it diversity now. And as a Leo, and now that Pluto's now at 0 degrees Aquarius, and it's not like I haven't been saying this, and I continue to, but Leo is going to remind all this diversity people out there, that is not fucking loving at all. That is fucking segregation. And with Neptune at where it's at right now, like the Civil War, this is a deep segregation war going to happen. And all the fucking racists are back out calling themselves diversity now. And they are racist. Start calling anybody in this diversity thing a racist, because that's what they are. And they are not following anything about the Pluto-Uranus energy that we had in the 60s, about true integration, that we are all human beings and we are all one. And we do not look at each other by race, by color, by where were you born? Where were you, like, what kind of like hair color is that? I like to have sex with stuffed animals. Where's my diversity for that? You didn't add that one to the list. You got to add fucking an extra letter for stuffed animals at the end before the new plus. Jeez. That's where we're at. And anybody backing this shit, NORWAC is requiring people to test for COVID. The astrology community has literally gone bonkers and has shot themselves with so many fucking boosters that there is no astrology community. They're just talking to themselves and they're all the old guard and they're all sitting up there fucking crazy. Those tests don't even work. I can take a banana and put it on a COVID test and it will pop positive. I can take I can take water from the tap and it will pop positive. So if you're that stupid going, I gotta take a COVID test, you're literally a fucking idiot still. You're like, I can't even, if you're sick, you're sick. Chill the fuck out. Like, wow. You're that much of an idiot. Everybody, if you're into astrology, you need to go to the website NORWAC. That's the fucking Northwest fucking astrology shit. And they're forcing people to test to go to the event. We're all about diversity too. No, you guys ain't. You guys are about segregation. And you guys are not about astrology. And you guys are about your little fucking COVID cult. And you don't want anybody there with a fucking voice and a fucking passion and a fucking following there. You choose all the astrologers that have no followings. Makes no sense. I don't even know how they even stay alive. They just do it to fucking stroke each other's COVID fucking tests. Jeez. Did you pop positive? Oh my God, I'm getting off on that one. Do you have Mercury in Aquarius? Oh my God. You know, that's what's so cool about Pluto and Aquarius. Everything that you would think would be cool is actually really lame. Those are the lamest astrologers on the planet that even go to that now. You know why? Because, and some people might not realize it, but they need to wake up. They need to wake up. That is the new slavery. We're going to force you to your medical and with something that doesn't even work. We're going to and then, oh yeah, you can't go and we'll just give you a packet and we'll take your money if you pop positive on something that fucking people who don't have it pop positive, people who have it pop negative. It's a fucking moronic world we're in right now. In the astrology community, nobody's going to talk it. You know why? Because they're all too fucking afraid. They're all little bitches. And you know what? Rick Levine needs to speak up because he's at that thing and he's fucking a badass astrologer. I don't know why he doesn't speak up about it. Why doesn't he? He's the old guy that we fucking love. How is he not fucking, that's fucking bullshit. We already know Sam Reynolds is a fucking diversity fucking promotes even fucking saying racial slurs. We already know that fucking the woman who runs that fucking literally hates anybody who fucking is even close to even saying they voted for Trump or anything. Won't even fucking invite, won't even fucking do anything. Her brother fucking runs a library. I'm down with him. He had to stop talking to me because his sister's fucking crazy. We are in a world right now with the astrology community. You have no idea what's happening behind the scenes. They're all fucking they've all shot themselves in the fucking head so much. They won't back up freedom. They won't back up all the tyranny that happened and going against it and promoting freedom and promoting astrology for it. No. All your little favorite superstars are not superstars. They're fucking super spreaders of fucking slavery, of literal bullshit, diversity, and racism. And they also want to try and get rid of essential dignities. Like, oh my God, because my planets are in good positions, we shouldn't be doing that anymore. You want to save astrology? Stop fucking following the people who will not talk about this shit and give you the fucking truth of what's going on and just tell you, oh, blah, 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 bye. Wheel of Fortune reversed. So people are wanting too much control over how their reality goes, and that's the problem. You're too afraid that it will fall on the wrong fortune. Like, oh my God, I don't want to spin it and it'll land on bankruptcy. That might be the best thing of your life. I'm not saying that that's the literal thing, but Wheel of Fortune reversed is trying to control your destiny way too much, trying to control your outcomes, trying to control. Stop. Let go. See what the fuck. Fucking throw the dice. See what the fuck happens. Throw it all on fucking black. Throw it all on fucking red. Let the wheel fucking turn. Throw it on fucking 00 green, for God's sakes. Who fucking knows? Take some wild risks in your life. 9 of Pentacles, upright. I like this. This is that Taurus coming in right now and that Leo. You deserve a better life and you need to know how badass you are. And if you know that, then why are you so afraid of the outcomes of the universe stop trying to hold yourself back and hold your tongue back and hold your passion back and hold everything and be a fucking cyborg astrologer, fucking weirdo, fucking diversity, slavery, touting racist. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Monster.
Attention, please.
Yo. Okay.
Attention,